Welcome friends. Let's get started our next module, which is module 5 about non-verbal communication skills. Before going ahead, let's talk about non-verbals. Non-verbal is everything that communicate but not through words. The things attached with us like how we look at others, how we sit, how we talk, how we walk, and give information through our body language or expressions, or we can say without saying a single word to them. Non-verbal communication skill. Non-verbal communication consists of our attitude, behavior, and body language. Non-verbal communication is communication without words. However, verbal and non-verbal communication are interconnected. The only difference between verbal and non-verbal communication is that we use voice for verbal communication and body language for non-verbal communication. Importance of non-verbal communication. According to estimates, non-verbal communication represents two-thirds part of all communications. Non-verbal communications are important to reinforce what's said in words. For example, people may nod their heads when saying yes to emphasize that they are agree, or a shrugging shoulder with a sad expression when saying I'm fine, thanks may actually implies that things are not really fine at all. Secondly, to convey information about emotional state. To convey information, your voice, your body language and facial expressions can often tell people exactly how you feel, even if you have hardly said a word. To provide feedback to others. Smile and nods tell someone that the person is listening and agree with what is said. To regulate the flow of communication. Form of non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication depends on our attitude, behavior and body language. We can have either a positive or negative attitude towards a problem. This attitude leads to a certain behavior. Behavior and attitude operates together for most people. If we have positive attitude, we tend to act positive, look forward for options. On the other hand, negative attitude leads to feeling of defeat. Body language. We mostly express ourselves using what is known as body language. Well friends, we can communicate non-verbally through eye contacts, determine the level of trust and attention, through our facial expressions, through our posture, how to sit or stand, arms are closed or not, etc., through our gesture, through our personal space, touch, and body movement like nodding, shaking hands, etc. Unit 5.1 Body Language. Body language is the most important part of nonverbal communication. Body language is the unspoken element of communication that we use to reveal our true feelings and emotions. Our gesture, facial expressions, and postures. For instance, when we are able to read these signs, we can use it to our advantage. For example, it can help us to understand the complete message of what someone is trying to say to us, to enhance our awareness and also to people's reaction on what we have to say and do. The main use of learning body language is to understand people's true emotions, intentions, and their general attitudes toward you, which ultimately helps to improve your communication with them. Whether you want to extend because they are interesting or you want to reduce it because they are deceptive towards your communication. Advantages of knowing body language. Well, friends, nonverbal communication matter strongly in our business, corporate management, and personal life. It provides following benefits: improve presentation and public speaking skills. It can improve our presentation skills and public speaking as we understand the power of nonverbal signals and appear confident, convincing, and entertaining. Develop a deeper understanding with others. This will allow people to develop a deeper understanding with others, which in turn allow them to strengthen their relationship. Group and team discussion. Team members can read each other's body language to understand what everyone is going through or who is under pressure and needs. Persuade others. Knowledge of body language can help you to persuade others better. Through their gesture and nonverbal communication signals, you can better understand what they like or dislike. This would allow you to customize your ideas or offer something to match their needs. Improve confidence and self-esteem. This will increases your self-confidence and esteem, and you become more aware of how others feel, how you are seen by them, and how to control your interpersonal communication more efficiently. How to express nonverbal communication. There are three ways by which we can express nonverbal communication. By reinforcing. Well, friends, in some situation where you has to show that you are not agree at all with the particular point, you say no and shows the palm of your hand at the time. Contradicting. Sometimes you say, okay, I'll go and get some, while rolling your eyes just after you say it, indicating that you are not really happy about doing this task, even though verbally you are agreed to do it. Complimenting. You add a smile to a text message to simulate body language in the digital world and ensure that the receiving a person understand you are joking. How to improve personal impact. Personal impact is about being listened to, respected, and remembered. We always think of them as successful people who seems to know what they want in any given situation and seems to be at ease all the time. A great part of having a positive presence is effective use of body language. Well, friends, there are some points you have to keep in mind when you want to improve your personal impact, like avoid touching your face. This is then interpreted as a sign that you are stressed. Perhaps you are lying. You are better off avoiding touching your face when in high stakes situations such as negotiation. Rest your arms on chair. The posture of sitting on a chair with elbows on the armrest is interpreted as a person with power. In contrast, arms resting inside the arm of the chair next to the body leads to a poor posture, indicating that the person is weak, afraid, and defeated. Adopt a positive posture to feel confident. Adopting a positive posture by raising chest is commonly used by professional actors, public speakers, and politicians who aim to appear confident in front of audience. Don't keep your hands in your pocket. This posture shows lack of confidence. Control your emotional biases. Do's and don'ts of personal impact.
Do not cross your arms. Cross arms make you appear defensive. The arms act like a barrier between you and other person and indicate that you want to protect yourself from them. Talk with your hands at waist. Bringing up your hands can become too distractive. This may also be seen as barrier and hence a sign of being defensive. Mirror the other person. Start physical mirroring of the other person. Match the way they talk by copying their tone of voice and speed of talking. Mirror the sitting position, arm placement, general posture gesture, facial expressions and mood. This will make you and them feel more comfortable with you and indicate that you are trustworthy and likable. Public speaking and body language. Do not talk too slowly or too fast. Well, friends, it is the most important to maintain a constant and significant speaking. Being too slow or too fast may cause the distraction. Understand your audience. Before going for a public speaking, you should know about the listeners, their likes and point of interest too. Be presentable. Always be presentable by your physical appearance. Also, dressed on requirement of the presentation and choose comfortable clothes. Don't wear distracting jewelries and bright colors that dominate or take the attention away. Maintain a confident posture. Stand erect, don't slouch. Hold your chest slightly out, up, and hold your chin up. Keep both feet on ground. Do not look down. Look at your audience. Don't lean on table or against the wall. Don't stand while crossing your legs. Don't hold the podium with both hands as if you need to hold on to something or you will fall. Unit 5.2 Personality Development. Well, friends, in this unit we will talk about personality. We often hear that he or she has a good personality or what a personality he or she has. Personality is a typical pattern of thinking and behavior that make the person unique. When we see that a person has good personality, means they are likable, interesting and pleasant to be with. Everyone wants to be attractive. That end, having a good personality is important. Personality development is development of attitude and behavior which makes us different from greater opportunities to achieve important life and Unit 5.2 Personality Enhancement. Things to enhance the personality includes: do not compare yourself with others. Be kind to yourself. Accept the imperfection. This will make you more patient. Be spontaneous. Don't overthink and overanalyze. Stay enthusiastic. Be a better communicator. Be positive. Stay focused. Things make you different from others. Don't have negative thoughts. This will impact negative on your personality. Don't waste your energy on gossip. Always have a positive attitude towards the others. Dream more when you are awake. Have a goal and attitudes toward this goal must be positive. How to handle people. Do not criticize or complain. This will not suit your personality. Always be ready to help others and be kind towards them. Give honest appreciations. Appreciate others on their good works or efforts. Things to make people like you. Smile. Always has a decent smile on your face. This will add a charm to your personality. Be a good listener. This is also an important part of the personality, that how good listener you are. Encourage others. Always have and be positive energetic and always encourage others with your thoughts. Don't copy style of others. Be real and honest. Don't doubt yourself. Always believe in you and your strength. Unit 5.3, Time Management. Effective time management is simply about self-discipline. Everyone has lots of work to do and not enough time to do it. However, we can all think of people who seems very organized and others who have the same amount of work to do, but the first kind manage to do it in time and better too. Time management is organizing and planning how to divide time between specific activities. Good time management lets you work smarter, not harder, so you get more done in less time. Important aspects of time management. Well, friends, the first lesson to learn about time management is that in the real world of work, things go wrong. Computers break down, files go missing, and problems crop up, and so on. These things will always happen, and there is really no way to avoid them. This means developing and using a simple set of time management system that works for you. Time management includes effective planning. Before you start to plan on what and when you spend your time, you need to know how much time you have available to you. The way you manage and budget your time is very similar to the way you manage and budget your salary. Setting goals and objectives. For time management, first ask yourself what is the purpose of your job or what is your aim, or simply we can say what do you need to do. Setting deadlines. You must know how much time you have available to you, which is 60 minutes in an hour and 25 hours in a day, and so on. The amount of time available is static, so you must know how long you have to take to complete any particular task and set a deadline for that. Delegation of responsibilities. To delegate is to assign a specific task to someone else and give them the authority to complete that task. Delegation helps save time for management. Prioritizing of activities according to their importance. One of the most common mistake people make in managing their priorities is that they leave the big and important tasks until last while they clear up little jobs. And of course, what normally happens is that they get to the end of the day and realize that they have spent the whole day in doing relatively unimportant tasks and facing interruptions, and then feel stressed because they still have to attend to the important jobs. Spending right time on right activity. This is the most important thing while managing your time. Benefits of time management. Time management increases the productivity and efficiency of the person. Greater productivity and efficiency. Because of more productivity, person gets the improved professional reputation. Time management makes individual punctual and disciplined and less stressed too. Because of time management, an individual can get time to enhance his or her skills for advancement. Unit 5.4 Decision Making. Everyone is required to make decisions in various situations. Decision making is the foremost aspect of life, both personal and professional. Decision making may be defined as the solution from among alternatives of a course of action. A plan cannot be said to exist unless a decision, a commitment of resources, directions, or reputation has been made. A decision is the outcome of reasoning and planning. It is made to achieve goals. Decision making is a choice between two or more alternatives. Decision making has a number of important features like decisions are made to achieve goals. They implies the existence of set of alternatives to choose from. The process of decision making is dynamic. Decisions are made in relation to the environment. When a decision has been made, make sure the matter does not end here. Decision making is an ongoing process. Decision making is an intellectual process. Decisions do not occur in a vacuum. There is an orderly process to decision making. This process passes through a series of steps. Identification or recognize the problem. The first step is to find the real problem and to define it. Analyzing. The next step is to analyze the problem by classifying it and finding facts. A decision maker must ask himself or herself, what does the problem mean to me? What do I want to do about it? Is this a problem on which a decision needs to be made? This will ensure that the decision is not endangered and that it is clear who has to do what in order to convert the decision into effective action. Generate alternative solutions. The process of decision making involves considering several alternative solutions. They are the means of compelling us to look at our basic assumptions, examine them and test their validity. A central problem of a decision maker is to choose between maintaining the system of action as is or changing them in desirable directions by desirable and feasible amount. In fact, the phase of search for solution places emphasis upon how creative the individual has to be in looking for solution. Though alternative solution may not ensure making the right decision, they prevent us from making the decision what we would have known to be a wrong one if we had given a serious thought to the problem. Selection of best solution. Before deciding upon the best solution from among the alternatives available, one must consider the criteria like risk, economy of efforts, timing, and limitations of resource. Implementation. Any decision has to be made effective in action. There is no use if a decision is made but there is no action on it. It needs to be done in a well planned and Unit 5.5 Critical Thinking. When someone asks questions and seeks answers, he or she is actually thinking. Thinking is a purposeful, organized process that we use to make sense of the world. Mainly thinking may be of two types: critical thinking and creative thinking. Well, friends, learning does not mean only learning, which is memorization of information based on repetition. In order to pursue high level of learning or to improve up in your chosen profession, it will be helpful if with thinking skills are developed. If you have the ability to think critically, it means that you have the skill to judge whether an idea is feasible or not. Critical thinking is general term given to a wide range of cognitive and intellectual skills needed to effectively identify, analyze and evaluate argument, to discover and overcome personal prejudices and biases, to formulate and present convincing reason in support of conclusions, to make reasonable, intelligent decisions about what to believe and what to do. Standards of critical thinking. Clarity. Clarity is gateway of standard. If a statement is unclear, we cannot determine whether it is accurate or relevant. Accuracy. A statement can be clear but not accurate. Precision. A statement can be both clear and accurate but not precise. Relevance. A statement should be relevant to matter. Fairness. To be a good thinker, you should apply fairness in your thinking. Depth. Statement should not be superficial. Logic. Statement should also include some logic in that. Benefits of critical thinking. This will help us avoid making foolish decisions, helps us become a good citizen capable of making good decisions on important social, political and economic issues, helps us in developing good thinking skills capable of examining our own assumptions and